Hi everyone. Today's blog is dedicated to the one who shall remain classified. But to be fair, that's probably the person I shall be dedicating all of these audio blogs to. So this is Philippa's experience with cannabis, part 2. The image is of the front cover of Dr. Bonnie Goldstein's book, Cannabis is Medicine. And you can read or hear more in a post that I did a few days ago. But I just haven't got around to doing the audio for that one yet. So this is Philippa's journey with cannabis, part 2. I had one more brush with cannabis when I was about 25, before I started consuming on a regular basis in my 30s. I was with some bandmates after a gig. We were watching season 3, episode 1 of Red Dwarf, called Backwards. I had never seen it before and found it absolutely hilarious, and bought season 3 on video so I could watch it again. Unfortunately, having never seen it before consuming cannabis, and although I still found it funny, it was never quite as funny again. My next encounter with cannabis was when I was about 32, and I had met a new friend. Let's call them Exhibit B. We were having great fun going out to live gigs, 2 on a Friday, 2 on a Saturday, and 2 on a Sunday. Plus I was going to jam nights and other gigs throughout the week. We were having after gig parties at various friends' houses, and yes, cannabis did come into play. But I started consuming on a regular basis, which started to have some consequences, both good and bad. The bad was memories of childhood psychological trauma. I was having panic attacks and feeling really depressed because I was reliving the trauma. The good was that I was becoming more aware of how to help myself, which in turn has helped others, I hope. And as a side note to this blog that I've written, it has actually helped some of my pains and the issues that I was having with my genetic condition that had not yet been diagnosed. I find the media headlines, "My child committed suicide because of cannabis," really sad, and brought about because of lack of understanding due to prohibition. If we had substantially better mental health services in this country, the UK, and a fully functional medical cannabis service provided by the NHS, these suicides may not happen at all. Now, I'm not a qualified psychologist, but I have studied a little and read many books on the subject. Having gone through this and many other experiences since my first memories started to form, I feel that I have some insight into this subject. I have been told that I should do a degree in psychology and go to work as a social worker. That was never the plan. The plan was to get my grade 8 scene exam and go to the Guildhall School of Music, Speech and Drama to do a music therapy course. But I fell ill in June 2006 after a gynecological procedure and Mirena coil fitting. Apologies if this is TMI, too much information. I could barely walk and had no idea that it was the hormone progesterone that was causing all of my issues. I finally found out what was wrong in March 2009. I was diagnosed with hypermobility syndrome, now called hypermobility spectrum disorder, or hypermobile type Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This condition is exacerbated by the hormones progesterone and relaxin. I had been consuming cannabis on and off for quite some time, about 20 years as things stand now, which did help with some of the pains I experienced, but was nowhere near the dose I would require to get the full effect that I required. I get pains that feel like I'm being stabbed with a sharp stabbing instrument that has been heated to a high temperature and hooked up to the electricity supply. It is not a very nice pain at all. Cannabis keeps this pain at bay, but it would sometimes break through because I would not have been on the correct dose or the correct strain whilst I was not on a medical prescription. You see, sourcing on the black market is not like going to a sweet shop where you can pick and choose. You get what you are given, which is not great because some strains don't suit me. And this is the same for everyone. More on strains in a future post. I will be forever grateful to those people that put themselves at risk to supply me with this medication. It's not all about the violence. I myself have never seen any as far as cannabis is concerned, and I have 20 years experience of the black market. You already know about my work with the Green Party, but when it came to the 2017 election, before I had been selected, I confided in somebody that I consumed cannabis, as I didn't want this to compromise the Green Party should it be made public. To my surprise, the response was more than reasonable, and I was reassured that it would be managed should it be made public. 2 years later, the Green Party released their drugs policy, which I haven't quite memorized yet. I might have to put it to music, lol. That pretty much brings us up to date. But just to say that I decided to seek out a legal cannabis prescription through the Project 2021 service in 2021, which is proving to be a very positive experience for the most part. You will find out more in my next post.